Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Brian Rudy.
It's my privilege to welcome you to the inaugural State of the City event. Before I get too far into this speech, I need to call attention to how important this year is, 2019, as it's the 150th anniversary for the City of Evans. In fact, as for all good things these days, we have a brand for the progress. It's called The Road Ahead. Get used to seeing this logo. We're going to be using it all over town to call attention to the capital projects and major maintenance underway. The road ahead in Evans takes a few different forms. First and fundamentally, we have to maintain and develop our infrastructure: roads, utilities, water resources, and parks. Next, we have to foster high-quality residential and commercial growth. When these efforts are going well, we believe Evans is a place where people feel safe, enjoy living, and have fun with their neighbors. The city has a role in fostering this environment as well. Finally, and importantly, we know that our city government must consistently demonstrate transparency and fiscal responsibility to build relationships and credibility with its residents and the business community, whom we count on to invest in Evans' future. So let's look at how we're doing in each of these areas. Well-maintained infrastructure with the capacity to grow. We recently completed widening an important segment of 35th Avenue, south of 37th Street. And we are finishing the 31st Street Highway 85 service road realignment to improve safety in this intersection. Again, I know that everyone has noticed 37th Street, water and sewer line replacement, 23rd Avenue to 11th Avenue. We really do appreciate everyone's patience in this work. The reason we're doing this work is because next year, we have a $1 million grant to resurface that same stretch. We will have a beautiful new surface next summer, and by doing it this way, we probably, hopefully, won't have to cut into that new road. We're going to widen 47th Avenue from 37th Street north to the city limits next year. We are also excited to announce that we will be building a new segment of 23rd Avenue between 37th Street and 42nd Street next year. In addition to the city's plans to build 2 lanes on 23rd Avenue in 2020, the city is working closely with Weld County on an agreement to build the rest of this segment to a 4-lane arterial with raised medians, sidewalks, and landscaping. We believe this is an important investment for traffic flow in the area, but also for opening up the area for development. We're completing our annual pavement management plan. This combination of asphalt patching, concrete repair, and chip seal resurfacing. We know that we do not have enough ongoing funding to keep our roads in their current poor shape, but we do the best with what we have. The city is now posed to begin $7 million of storm drainage improvements in the vicinity of the highway over the next 3 years. This work will address our most severe storm drainage problems and help encourage new investment in the highway corridor. Recent changes to stormwater utility fees have also enabled us to quadruple our street sweeping, inlet cleaning, and other stormwater efforts citywide. We have a wave of high-quality development underway. Like most communities in northern Colorado, Evans is experiencing growth. Right now, we have almost 2,000 units in the planning pipeline. The Highway 85 corridor remains critically important to the Evans economy, and the city continues its efforts to spark redevelopment. Earlier this year, the City Council determined that the city should go first, investing in public spaces to improve how the corridor looks. In the next couple years, motorists will experience a highway corridor that feels like part of the community, with trees and other landscaping along the edges of the highway and in the raised median. The city's redevelopment agency purchased the properties on the corner of Highway 85 and 31st Street several years ago. The site's formerly known as Randy's Diner and Dutch's Market. Last week, the City Council approved a pre-development agreement with a firm from Denver who has a vision for a project that could anchor the southeast corner of the intersection and lead the way for more private sector investment. Finally, the city is finalizing plans to demolish the buildings on both of these sites. Cities tend to focus on building things like infrastructure and development projects just like the ones just outlined. But I want to spend a few minutes on what I feel is the most satisfying part of government, and is helping neighbors connect with each other and enjoying life in the city here in Evans. Evans has a full calendar of community events every year, especially having added 8 new events in this past year for a total of 15 citywide special events. Those include the annual City Golf Tournament, Heritage Days, which we just celebrated 2 weeks ago, Trick or Treat down the trail in Riverside Park, and the annual holiday lighting ceremony, which this year will be the final event of the 150th anniversary celebration. The recently rebuilt Riverside Park hosted hundreds of tournament softball games this past summer. It is a beautiful place for families and neighbors to enjoy the river and to gather for their family events. Our community complex and the beautiful Riverside Library and Cultural Center, which we are in today, are not only home to our government and library, but are also hubs of fun, health, and community. Annually, these facilities host more than 1,000 events. The community complex hosts weekly senior meals that total 6,000 meals per year. Finally, the recreation center, housed within the community complex, sees approximately 21,000 visitors. One of my favorite events of the year is National Night Out, which has strong ties to the Neighborhood Watch program. On the second Tuesday of August each year, we typically have 10 or more parties in neighborhoods all across our community, with neighbors outside enjoying food, playing games, and just hanging out with each other. I am proud of this event and look forward to it each and every year. There are many reasons why I can brag about the Evans Police Department. They do a marvelous job of protecting our community every day, taking all manners of risks so that we can enjoy the community we do. But I want to highlight just a couple of the investments made by our police officers that go above and beyond their normal duties to help those who need it most. The Evans Police Department loves the Special Olympics and its athletes. The City of Evans has approximately 50 students, most from Centennial and Hyman Elementary Schools, that participate in the Special Olympics. The Evans Police Department and its officers participate in the Law Officers Torch Run, Polar Plunge.
Glad you got the city manager, Mr. Mecklenburg, right there. Jim, give him a round of applause.
Tip-a-cop events, and many events to support our kids and adults with developmental disabilities. The police department also participates in the Santa Cops program every year, which benefits more than 500 kids in Evans. This year's program is already underway. Forms have been sent out to the schools asking for a list of their needy kids in our community. The Saturday following Thanksgiving, officers will partner with neighboring agencies at Walmart to collect the toys. We do have an officer, a commander here today. It's Commander Ramos. Ramos just returned around 2 weeks ago from a 3-month stint at the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. Only 1% of all police officers across the United States are invited to this academy. It shows a lot about Commander Ramos, a lot about Chief Brent, a lot about our Evans Police Department, that he was chosen and completed that. We're so very proud of you. Thank you for doing that, Commander. The city couldn't do any of these things without community support, and government doesn't earn support without ongoing commitment to fiscal responsibility and transparency. Fortunately, the city of Evans demonstrates these values year in and year out. The City Council insists on annual budgets that is both balanced for the upcoming budget year, but also for the upcoming 5-year period, with responsible reserves in all funds. This year, the city received a national recognition from the Government Finance Officers Association for its budgeting practices and budget documents. The city continues to receive a clean audit opinion every year, thanks to our professional finance team. To reinforce our values of transparency, the City Council now live streams all of its City Council meetings and work sessions. This year, the city has stepped up its efforts to connect with the cultural minority populations in Evans, with increasing bilingual distribution of its information. On a final note of fostering great communities, in 2020, Census is coming next spring, and it's important that you and your families are counted in the city of Evans. Please encourage your friends, neighbors, co-workers, and family to participate, because the census will benefit us all. The city of Evans can receive additional grant funding to help fix city streets and build crucial infrastructure projects. Also, our community can benefit from expanded legislative representation in Colorado House and Senate. If we have more representation, we get more of the say in what matters. Here's what you need to know about this census. Census Day is April 1st, 2020. You can respond online in March. You can respond online, by phone, or submitting a paper form census. I'll tell you about our highest priority for 2020, a priority that the City Council and I feel will have long-term impacts on the quality of life in Evans for decades to come. As many of you know, the city attempted to pass a ballot measure in 2018 to increase our ongoing resources for road maintenance. It did not pass. But we're not giving up. High-quality streets are too important for the safety of our local economy. Currently, we don't have enough ongoing revenue to keep up with street maintenance and widening arterials like 37th, to keep up with the growth in the traffic. At the rate construction costs are growing, our financial model suggests that without additional revenue, our streets will continue to fall apart, and we will never have enough money to widen all of our main roads and to keep them safe. Since the failed measure of 2018, we have listened to the residents about why it may have failed. We've also been encouraged to try again, and that's what we're going to do. The City Council has decided to ask the voters to approve a 1-cent sales tax next April. The new tax, which is just a penny on the dollar, will be used exclusively for maintaining streets and widening arterials like 37th. This revenue would more than triple our street maintenance budget and would enable us to widen 37th all the way out to 47th in 3 years, and all the way to 65th Avenue within 7. We would also be able to widen 65th Avenue south to 49th Street and build out 35th Avenue to 49th Street within 10 years. On the maintenance side, this slide shows our likely street maintenance program over the next 10 years with our current annual budget. The next slide is an illustration of how much work we could get done with a new 1-cent tax over 10 years. Most streets in Evans would be resurfaced, and most of the dirt roads north of the river would be paved. You'll be hearing more about this in the coming weeks and months. If you're willing to help and lead a discussion about this important issue, or even host a meeting to talk about it with your neighbors, please let anyone on the City Council or City staff know. This wraps up my update on the road ahead in Evans. Along with the rest of the City Council, I'm very excited to continue our momentum and follow through on the promising plans you've heard about this morning. I want to thank you for attending this morning's event and for your support in our community. I look forward to next year's State of the City, when I will be able to report on more progress we've made. I hope that you will take a closer look at any of the projects and initiatives that you've heard about today and get involved with making great things happen for our community. Enjoy your day, and thank you very much for being here.